Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MPJ Rock Album Reviews, and we are here live, me, Nigel Matthews, and my wicked crew, William, Simon, Trish, and Paul. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
So today is Battle of the New Album Releases. Twilight Force at the heart of Wintervale versus the Crowne and Operation Phoenix. It's power metal. Oh, you can just see it, the little twinkle in Simon's and Will's eyes, and ours for that matter, because we've been taking on a power metal journey over the last couple of years for sure. So, who are Twilight Force in the red corner? Twilight Force, a Swedish symphonic power metal band known for their highly fantastical lyrics and LARP style outfits which the band performs on stage. The band's main lyrical themes are based in the lore of fictional world known as the Twilight Kingdoms. Created by keyboardist Daniel Beckham, can't resist, top corner. The band was released for their 4 studio albums to date. The band members play under the use of their nicknames and wear costumes on stage that mirror the band's lyrical themes. The group describes themselves as adventure metal, in part due to the use of costumes, props and demeanour on stage. The band has cited early role-playing games like Heroes of Might and Magic and tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons as inspiration for their appearance. And the idea behind Twilight Force was conceived in the mid-2000s by guitarist Philip Lind and keyboardist Daniel Beckham, and they're going to be up against the Crowne. But first of all, let's find out what we thought of Twilight Force, and we have to start with our power metal guru, and let's go with Simon.
Yeah, what an album. It's fun, joyous, whimsical, empowering, and unabashedly symphonic metal to the core. I loved this album start to finish, which it just 8 tracks and 45 minutes. It went by way too quickly. At the heart of Wintervale, in particular, I love that track. The guitaring is fantastic. The shift in tone with the bells is just beautiful, and it doesn't break the flow at all for me. The vocals can get a little high occasionally, but I will forgive all of that when I'm imagining dragons and wizards. The whole album feels like it's some kind of stage play that is begging to be made, or a unique holiday special for Netflix. And I can already picture Highlands of the Elder Dragon as the intro, starting with that wonderful voiceover in a cozy wood fire-lit studio as the camera pans onto a leather-bound book, its pages magically opening up and taking us into this land of legend and adventure. It's just wonderful. I absolutely love this album. And the dragon cover art just keeps getting more and more epic for each of the albums, because I do know Twilight Force, I've listened to them before, so they're fantastic, and I absolutely adored this album.
Wow. Now, I would go to William, but we're going to leave William to last, because, we need to add some balance to all of this, because, it is what it is. Paul, coming to you, my friend, what do you think of Twilight Force?
Well, after Simon's passion,
yeah, but can I just say, this is why I'm smiling, because Simon was smiling, and this is why we do it. We're passionate people about the sort of music that we love, and we want to go on a journey, and that was lovely to see him smiling. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but yeah, I'm joking. Anyway, carry on, Paul.
Okay. I'm just going to wipe the smile off his face, basically. So Twilight Force love dragons in any shape or form. They would like to be a dragon, and a so-called adventure rock, a combination of power metal and symphonic metal, is all contained in a fantasy setting about dragons. I should be excited about this tonsil-topping, galloping epic, with the opening track Twilight Force, and the opening track Twilight Force is a fast-paced adventure. Although the triangle tinkering away through the track makes it almost whimsical, to say the least. As a soundscape, at the heart of Wintervale is epic. However, the songs throughout the album, as with a previous album, all sound the same. Same type of riffs, drum beats, horns, and yes, triangle, which makes this cinematic take on power metal a one-dimensional tour de force. You're either going to love it, or like me, become quickly bored with it. which on the face of it is, since I'm obsessed with dragons too, is rather disappointing.
Oh, wow. Somebody.
But having said that, I'm glad to see Simon's still smiling.
Trish, then let's come to you next. Then, so Twilight Force. Did you want to ride the back of a dragon with wind in your hair?
Oh God, I've got a vision now of Chris on a Black Panther. From that first note, the blend of electric guitar and drums with a symphonic orchestra to take you on a story using the music to assist in weaving the take to the listener. It can be loud, intense and fierce, and then gentle. The songs, however, extending to 10 minutes might seem off-putting to some, including me, but it is a feel-good gem within the symphonic metal genre.
Well, we've come down a little bit, haven't we? We now maybe have supping beers with the goblins at the inn, rather than, with our mighty heroes with dragons. The goblins have brought this thing down. William, can you raise us back up? Will we take flight once more with dragons with you, my friend?
Well, I could certainly try. Before I start, a fun fact about Twilight Force. They're from the same city in Sweden as Sabaton are. Fun fact, both from the same city and founded there. Also, fun fact, in their old album they have a song with the lead singer of Sabaton in it. And in 2016, when the old vocalist left, they toured with a temporary vocalist who was the guitarist of Sabaton. Everything comes around.
Wow.
So, obviously by that, I've known Twilight Force since their debut album. As a result of that, it has kind of skewed my opinion on this album, not necessarily positively, because I really, really liked their original vocalist. And for me, I thought his vocals were stronger than the new singer. But still saying that, this is a hilarious album. I love it. With power metal like this, you don't go in thinking, you just go in thinking, it's going to be some funny little goblins hopping around and trolls singing and playing the fiddle. That's the kind of power metal I live for. The ridiculous, stupid people jumping around, having the time of their lives. It's great. It's fun. It's, like I said, it's fun, whimsical, full of joy. It's just feel-good music. And, it's got the classic thing of, it's a power metal album, so the last song on the album has to be 10 minutes long, because it's a power metal album, and what self-respecting band wouldn't do that? It's
absolutely.
It's very fun.
Absolutely.
It's a very fun time. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Big much.
So, obviously, we've been on a journey with power metal since we started the show, and it's been interesting. So, this is the first time I have listened to Twilight Force, and throughout this, we've talked about different power metal bands, and one of the things I talk about is that with power metal, the music has to also tell the story. Music has to tell the story first and foremost. So we hackened onto people like Startide and Judicator, who lyrically was strong and vocally was strong, but musically it was quite bland because it was very generic right the way through. This, and despite and everything you said is true. Everything you just said about it being whimsical, about being the way it is, but you can't also deny that the composition of this album, with the various different musical influences in there, is nothing but sheer genius. Whether you decide that the theme is not for you, when you listen to this album, and yes, you put a triangle in it, and then at one point you hear flutes, or in my world, panpipes. The influences, the musical influences, and the composition of this album is nothing short of phenomenal. It really is. The diversity that comes through is absolutely right. And it took 3 albums for me to get into the lyrics, and it didn't matter because I wanted to get into the lyrics eventually, because the music took me on that journey. Right from the word go with Twilight Force, the music took me on a journey. I read one review about the fact is you genuinely feel that you're in a Dungeons and Dragons adventure. There's a film coming out, isn't there, which we're all excited to see because the special effects look amazing, which is Dungeons and Dragons. You got to go. They should have used Twilight Force for the theme music of that film, because it is nothing but utter It's brilliant. It's a brilliant album in terms of its composition. However, as I kind of discover, yes, it does get a little bit samey. Yes, it does. I absolutely concede that, but it's still a tour de force of a power metal album, and thoroughly enjoyable, and right up there in this tree. So, as I say, no matter, and I think people will not like it because of its theme and its whimsicality, but honestly, genuinely musically, the music tells a story, and the composition is phenomenally good, really good, well worth a good listen. So, right, well, Crowne have got a battle here, or have they? Because there's a bit of split here. So, who are Crowne in the blue corner? Swedish super group members of legendary bands such as Europe, the Poodles, and Heat, which we have reviewed, of course. Vocalist, the band's made up of vocalist Alexander Strandell, who's known to fans of genre-fronted Art Nation, and since 2005 Art Nation's released 3 successful albums. Joanna T's name is certainly one that needs no introduction for fans of Swedish melodic rock scene and melodic hard rock. Joanna brings not only his trademark production, by the way, I don't know why they say no introduction, but yeah, he's played with Dynasty and stuff as well. On bass, the name surely needs no introduction. They keep going on about this. If it needs no introduction, why do you say it needs no introduction? I mean, anyway, on bass, legendary band Europe, John Leven. John has agreed to join the guys and offer his awesome talents for the realization of killer sound to be 1.5 astounding rhythm sections. And the Poodles drummer Christian Kickin, linguist, joins the party as the backbone of the rhythm sections. Right, I don't know if anybody's heard of these bands. Obviously, Europe we've heard of. But there we go. So, Paul, the Crowne. What did the Crowne do for you, my friend?
Well, the trouble with Swedish metal bands is you're never quite sure what you're going to get. A power metal version of Europe or ABBA on crack. You kind of get both with Crowne. Operation Phoenix is a tale of two halves, with the first half being all over the place, including a tribute to Super Trooper. Then The Last of Us happens, and the mood of the album lifts with a more melodic hard rock sound. Is the band had started off with these tracks and continued in the same vein, this would have been a cracker of an album.
Okay, so Trish.
Right. Opening with the title track, it's immediately clear that these guys mean business. It cement and verges on power metal, but holds back just enough so it doesn't sound too cheesy. Each song is filled to the brim with melodies, highly effective choruses, and some moments that are guaranteed to get you moving, or at least singing along. If you like classy metal hard rock with lots of riffs, soaring vocals, and keyboards like I do, then you won't be disappointed. This album hit all of my sweet spots. It's fantastic, and I want more.
Ooh, turning out to be a bit of a battle royale potentially here. William Crowne, new to the scene. Their debut album. Was it a debut worthy of William's taste buds?
I enjoyed this very much. It's a very different kind of power metal to something like Twilight Force, where Twilight Force is your classic, just they exclusively sing with the same sort of high-pitched vocals the whole time with the funny, trolls and goblins playing the fiddle. This is more just, it does stuff fast, it has the more diverse range of vocals. It's very enjoyable. It's good. This is a very Swedish stage day. I think the conclusion will be more Swedish bands. It's very good. Shockingly, the thing with band like this as well is I'm actually able to pick out tracks that stand out, because with Twilight Force, I can't really pick out any of the songs because they're all so similar in that sound that it's just blurs into one. But ones like In the Name of the Fallen, starting with that like synth sort of building up, I like when they do that. There was one bit that did distract me with the album. I think it was Victorious or Northern Lights. There's a bit in the middle of it where it's just drums, and that's the exact same drum that the song Perilous by Sabbath starts with. And so all I could think of was listening to them which did distract me because I'd rather listen to Perilous Rex. That's perfection. But it was very good.
For people listening to the show, for the people listening to the show for the first time, you might detect that Will is a bit of a Somerton super fan. But anyway, Simon Crowne.
I mean, yeah, what a duo to face off this month. You've got to stop doing this to me, Nige. For me, this is a powerful example of what power metal is capable of. Operation Phoenix, the title track, it starts off well and made me curious, but it's with Champions that they had my attention. The album has a lot of energy, even the mid-album songs, which typically you'd expect to be a little more sort of downbeat melodic to get that tempo, even those were still full of energies. The vocals soared majestically throughout so many of the tracks, though genuinely would have liked to have heard like more of a classic ballad or a low tempo song just to see what he's capable of, rather than a Super Trooper cover. The guitar riffs in particular though hit really hard, and with Victorious I was air guitaring along with that epic guitar solo, and even the ending song Northern Lights, it really left me wanting more. That's such a good track, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Crowne has next. That was an amazing album.
Ooh. Wow, it was a bit of a battle royale here. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what did I think of the Crowne? I mentioned earlier about people like Starchild and Judicator, and for the first 3 tracks, I thought it was just another one of those. It was just generic. It was just generic, and then of course it got to Super Trooper. Nobody should ever do a rock power metal band version of Super Trooper. It was awful. It was fecking awful. And every time I listen back to this album, I switch it. It was, and at that point, genuinely wanted to not carry on with the album. Genuinely, I hated it. Even for that 5 seconds in that album where they're singing Super Trooper, it sounded like ABBA on crack. I hated it. I'm glad I didn't, because the second half of the album was stupendous. And I agree with Paul. It's just a shame that they didn't lead with that sort of style and carry on through with it, because Just Believe, what a track. Northern Lights, you're absolutely right. What a track. And I think that did show his vocals. The vocals were phenomenal. Just why the hell? Who in their right mind thought it was a clever idea to do some parody or something on Super Trooper? Why? Why would you do that? I mean, you just need shooting. You just need to be shot and banished from the world of rock. But
I'd argue it was an improvement on Super Trooper, to be fair. Not gonna lie.
She was shot. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I just didn't want to hear it. I like a bit of ABBA, and it's got its moment in time, but I don't want to hear a power metal man improving on Super Trooper. I just don't want to hear it. Full stop. I just don't want to hear it.
We all heard him say improving. We heard it. He said it.
Anyway, but there we go. And it's a shame, but the second half of the album was utterly stupendous, and I think it would have been top marks for me if the whole album was kind of similar. So there is definitely potential there, and you're right. I mean, the vocally it was absolutely terrific. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't that the first 3 tracks were bad. They were good. They were just a bit generic for me. But anyway, so right, got that off my chest. Been waiting. Anyway, right, okay. Well, this could be a bit of a battle, couldn't it? Let's find out who. And also, they might win. That both of these bands might well get into our Hall of Fame. Who knows? Certainly going to score potentially highly for the top albums of 2023. But that's who knows. Anyway, okay. So, William, then. Let's find out, shall we? Let's go. William, Twilight Force. So you're on mute, my friend. You're on mute.
4.5.
4.5. Ooh. Crowne.
4.5.
Oh! William, the
It's
$1
really
million
good.
question. You have only enough money to buy one of these albums. What is it going to be, William?
I think I need some kind of pay rise. Oh god, albums aren't that expensive.
Well, that's because you
like-
just bought the whole of the Sabaton back catalogue, or you know.
I feel like this is sort of because I already own the past few Twilight Force albums that I have to say Crowne just because they're so new. I've not heard something like that before.
Okay, Simon. Twilight Force.
Oh boy.
I know. Tricky, isn't it?
Twilight Force. This may be a shock. 5.
5! Woohoo! 5 and a smile. You can't beat a 5 and a smile, can you? Okay, so 4.5. Okay, and Crowne.
I really want to give it a 5 as well.
Oh, give it a 5, baby. You want to give it a 5?
Yeah,
Do it, coward.
It's got to be.
5.
gotta be a 5.
Oh, double 5 and a
Love
double
them.
smile. Simon, I know you've only got enough money to buy one of these albums because you've been buying Sabaton concert tickets with Will here. What's it going to be?
If it's just buying the album, for me, I think it would be Twilight Force.
There we
but
go.
Crowne, I would buy the live ticket for first.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, that's not, I'm sorry, but that's not part of the game. But I take it on board, so 1 apiece. Paul, Twilight Force.
2.
2? 2? Oh, talk about taking the smile off his face. And the Crowne.
3.
3. Okay, dokie. So that's 2-1 to the Crowne. Trish.
Twilight, 3.5.
3.5 for Twilight. That's pretty good. And the Crowne?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 for the Crowne. Wow,
Ooh-wee.
she does like a bit of heavy metal
I
Super Trooper.
bloody loved it.
Oh, wee.
Wow.
Full shock there.
Shocks. Twilight Force 4.5 for me, and the Crowne 3.5 for me, and at Super Trooper it was down at about 2 with Paul, but it revived itself from that point of view as well. So the Crowne wins the Battle of the Power Metalists here, but I think that both the albums are winners overall here. Let's go and tally up the numbers. So we're looking at Twilight Force of 7, 8, 12 and a half, 17 and a half. Paul, you horrible, horrible man, Paul. You horrible, evil. You dragons could have been flying in the Hall of Fame except for you. 2 gives it 19 and a half. Half a point, Paul, from Hall of Fame.
I've just brought sanity to the proceedings.
You haven't. You've crushed our fantasy dreams, Paul. 19 and a half. Half a mark away from Hall of Fame. But wicked top 50 album, definitely in Scouts, and I think probably our number 2 of the year so far. Well, has the Crowne done better? Well, let's have a look. 8 and a half, 9, 13, 18. Oh my God, 21. The Crowne into our Hall of Fame, which really hurts my feelings because Super Trooper does not deserve to be in it, but obviously the other songs do. Congratulations to the Crowne. Well done. Welcome to our Hall of Fame, which is an exclusive club. We've done about 100, nearly come up to 200 albums now, and there's only about 12 or 13, I think, or maybe a bit more, 14 into the Hall of Fame. You'll find out at the bottom of the page. But the news is that currently the Crowne is our number 1 top album for 2023. I mean, all right, we're only 3 months in, but it knocked off the Electric Boy off his perch there with 21. So congratulations.
That's a crime.
Huh?
That's a crime. I'm changing my scores.
Well, there we go. So congratulations to Crowne and Operation Phoenix, and thank you all very much for joining me today. Both cracking albums, and obviously power metal. If you do it and you do it well, we're going to love it. So fantastic. So thanks for joining me today, and please tune in. Please like and subscribe. Hit the bell button, so get lots of alerts when we release new videos, and check out our Facebook page as well, MPJ. Okay, thanks very much for joining me. Goodbye, everybody.